Hi, I want to make a short video about wholesaling. It seems to be a topic that causes a lot of people a lot of trouble in this particular workshop. Let's look at wholesaling, starting with the definition from our textbook, Kotler and Keller. In the 2009 version on page 255, it says wholesaling includes all the activities in selling goods or services to those who buy for resale or business use. Wholesaling excludes manufacturers, farmers, and retailers. Another textbook today, Contemporary Marketing by Kurtz, 2012, says wholesalers take title to the goods they handle and sell those goods primarily to retailers or to other wholesalers or business users. It's on page 465. If you want online, you can look up businessdictionary.com, which defines wholesalers as a person or firm that buys large quantity of goods from various producers or vendors, warehouses them, and resells to retailers. So what's the common theme of these three definitions? Well, it's in all three, wholesalers sell to companies who sell to the end user, but they do not sell to the end user themselves. Wholesalers are sometimes also called distributors. But again, the common theme is that wholesalers do not sell to the end user. Now, the text discusses some of the companies I often see listed and named in posts on this particular topic. Companies such as Costco, Sam's Clubs, or even BJ's Wholesale Club. But again, let's look at that definition of a wholesaler. A wholesaler does not sell to the end user. A wholesaler sells to a retailer or a business user, or to another wholesaler. What about a company like Grainger, which has a retail-like counter but sells industrial supplies, often to businesses, sometimes to companies, sometimes to a retail person off the street? Well, Grainger really is a retailer. They're a very specialized retailer, but if they're selling to the end user who's not reselling it, they're a retailer. Now, they will make some sales to companies that might resell a product, and they might sell some B2B where that product they sell is going to be put into something else. However, Grainger is, when they are selling to the end user, operating like a retailer. What about Lowe's and Home Depot? We know that they cater quite a bit to the contractor who's going to purchase something and put it in somebody's house or use it in a remodeling project. So that's a good question. But again, Lowe's and Home Depot, by volume, sell primarily to the retail customer. So they're retailers. Now, certainly Lowe's and Home Depot do sell some B2B work, and they do sell to contractors. But those contractors are not buying at wholesale. If they were a contractor buying at wholesale, they would not be buying at Lowe's or Home Depot. For example, a custom home builder, or more likely a tract builder who builds many homes a year, would have a contract with a wholesaler to purchase perhaps 25 washers and dryers and refrigerators at a time at a preset discounted price. They would not be buying them one at a time for a particular purchase for one home. What about these companies we see, oftentimes mattress and carpet companies or electronic companies that claim to be wholesalers? Even companies such as BJ's Wholesale Club, where the name wholesale is, or the word wholesale is part of their name. Well, to the uninformed general consumer, they might be surprised and confused, and they might actually think these are wholesale companies selling to me. Well, that's marketing. Those companies actually are not wholesalers. They're still retailers. Now, do they sell at a wholesale price? Of course not. They bought it from somebody else. They bought it from a distributor, and they're selling it to you. They buy it wholesale. They may sell at a lower markup than regular retailers, but they're not selling at a wholesale price. It's strictly marketing. It's the way they want to be seen so that the general public, not people who study marketing, will think, I'm getting a great deal. I'm buying at wholesale. When in reality, they may be buying at a larger discount or a discount from a normal retail price, but they're still buying from a retailer. I see a lot of posts which mention banks and trucking companies because they provide services to wholesalers, which are listed in the book, such as transportation and financing. But again, look at the definition of a wholesaler. A trucking company is not a wholesaler just because it sells B2B and provides transportation services. Its services are not resold, and that's the key. Same for a bank. Now, there is a wholesale market in the banking sector, in the banking industry. But it has nothing to do with providing credit to a wholesaler or a retailer or to a consumer who's going to buy at a retailer or even at a wholesaler who's occasionally selling retail. A transportation company is a service provider. It provides trucking services, often to businesses, but it is not a wholesaler. A wholesaler might provide transportation services, and they may subcontract that out to a company, such as JB Freight or Yellow Freight, names often brought up in this class. However, at that point, the wholesaler who is contracting for that transportation services is the wholesaler, and the transportation company is not. They are part of the value chain, but they're not a wholesaler. So, if you need to look at your posts and redo them, I would suggest you look at that. And especially if I wrote, please watch my video notes on wholesale and repost, you should do so. And remember, a wholesaler does not sell to the end user. A wholesaler sells to someone else who is going to resell that product to the end user.